breeding into the animals means to produce a resistant variety. First one is to produce the resistant varieties of the animals, and economical feeding, improve the quality and quantity of milk or their products they are taking means. Fourth one, faster growth, and fifth one, early production, life cycle, and long living. So these are into the different aims of the why the animal breeding methods we follow. First one is resistant varieties. To produce the resistant variety, disease resistant varieties, we are following into the animal breeding methods. And economical feeding, that means the animal feeding, economical feeding means less food material, less feeder they have to take and giving into the more productivity. So like this variety, to produce the like these varieties, we follow into these breeding methods, and the improvement of the quality and the quantity of their milk or their products. So their quality and the quantity to improve, to rising into their quality and the quantity, we follow into these methods. And the faster growth, the animals has to be grow into the fasterly. So faster growth, to attain into the fast growth of the animals, we follow these breeding methods. And the early production life cycle, that means these are growing into the fastly, and these are having into the productivity life into the a longer duration. So early growth is there means productivity life cycle is becomes into the long. That means so many years they are able to produce into their products we are taking, and long living. So like these, by these aims we are following into the animal breeding methods we are doing. What are these animal breeding methods means? So generally we follow into the three types of the animal breeding methods. They are one, interbreeding, outbreeding, inbreeding, outbreeding, and controlled breeding. Inbreeding methods and the outbreeding methods and the controlled breeding methods we are taking. Here inbreeding methods, again this is into the two types, close breeding and the line breeding. The outbreeding again two types we are taking, outcrossing and the cross breeding and the control breeding methods. So like these we are differentiating into the breeding methods into these categories we are taking. So one by one we can be discussed here. Breeding. Inbreeding method. So what is mean by the inbreeding means the breeds, the closely related breeds, close related individuals of a breed, the close related individuals individuals of a breed, one breed, within the one breed. Suppose the animals are, we are breeding, we are rearing, or we are breeding within the one individual, within the one breed individuals. The type of the breeding is called as the inbreeding methods. That means the both male and the females of in these breeding methods are related to the same breeders, or the closely related to that particular breed. So that is called as the inbreeding methods. We are again the inbreeding method we are taking means two ways we are conducting. One is the close breeding. First one is the close breeding method. So how can we define, how can we explain the close breeding method? Means here male and the female individuals are the parental generation male and the parental generation female. The male individual is crossed with the female offspring. The male parent is crossed with the female offspring, or female parent is crossed with the male offspring. So this type of the breeding is called as a close breeding here. Close breeding here. So what it is happened? So within the same breed, very closely related. That means a parent and their offsprings. Between these two, the breeding methods we are conducting. We are conducting into the breeding. So this is called as a close breeding method here. The second one is the line breeding. Line breeding methods. In this line breeding method, so within the same breed, the superior quality of the male and the females we are taking. The superior quality of the male and the male and the females are taken into the each generation, and we are breeding. So this type of the breeding is called as a line breeding here. So in the line breeding, we are not crossing with the male with the female, male with the offsprings here. So within the same generations, we are taking the superior qualities of the male and the female with the same breed. We are taking and we are breeding here. This is called as a line. So like this, very closely related the individuals are, we are breeding. That type of the breeding is called as the inbreeding method here. So next one is the outbreeding method. Second one is the outbreeding. Outbreeding here. The breeding individual, that is the male and the females, are varies. That means in between them, so there is a gap is presented between the male and the female. So this type of the breeding is called as the outbreeding. They are not belongs to the same breeds at all. So it is called as the outbreeding method here. So outbreeding method again to the two types: outcrossing and cross breeding here. Outcrossing and the cross breeding. Here first one is the outcrossing here. So already we discussed the outbreeding methods. The breeders, the male and the females we are taking is not having a close relation here. So first one is the outcrossing. Here the male of the breeders of the in this breeding, male and the female, in the both the sides, either the 4 to 6 generation, we are taking means 4 to 6 generation, there is no common ancestor here. The breeds, the male and females are the two breeds we are taking means the same breed, but even though they are not having into the 4 to 6 generations into the common ancestor, before that only they may having into the common ancestor. So that type of the breeding is called as a outcrossing here. Outcrossing here. For example, the inbreeding methods, what it is happened? The male and the females are having into a common ancestors they are having. Okay, common ancestors. Whether the close breeding or the line breeding we are taking, they are having into the common ancestors only. But here the common ancestors are not there for the 4 to 6 generation either of the both the breeding animals we are in, either the male or the female. This type of the breeding is called as a outcrossing here. And then the second one is the crossbreeding. The crossbreeding is nothing but as a the male and the female. The breeding animals are either the male or the female. We are taking these two belongs to the two different breeds here. This is belongs to the one breed. This belongs to the one breed here, one breed variety, and this is belongs to the another breed variety here. So both are into the different breed varieties. So that time we are crossing into the these two is called as a two different varieties is called as a cross breeding here. So both are not belongs to the same breeds here. For example, cross breeds here we can take into the cross breed. So Jersey Sindhi. So Jersey is the exotic breed and the Sindhi is the our native breed here. So by the crossing of these two varieties of the breeds, we are getting into the a cross breed varieties. So these are called as a cross breeds here. Okay, here not at all having into the common ancestors because both the breeds are into the differently. So we are taking both the breeding animals we are taking from the two different breeds here. Okay, so these are into the two important outbreeding methods here. And the third one, interspecific breed is also we are following the outbreeding methods only. Here the interspecific breeding methods, the breeds are not belongs to the same species here. These are into the two different species. Up to here we are discussing the organisms are belongs to the same species, but the breeds only they are having into the differences here. But the interspecific breeding method we are taking breeding animals are belongs to the two different species we are taking. For example, male and cross with interspecific breeding method may cross with the jackals. Here the male is the female horse, jackals is the male donkey. Donkeys and the horse not belongs to the same species. Both are in the two different species here. In the same way, genet and the stallion we are taking genet is the female donkey and the stallion is the male horse here. So by the crossing of two different species varieties, okay, they are producing into the animals. They are the mules are producing by the male and the jackals. We are taking means genet the stallion they are producing the hinny they are producers here. Okay, so hinnies and the mule both are into the sterile forms only. These are the sterile only. Both are the sterile animals they are producing. For what purpose they are producers means for economical importance they are producers into these varieties we are like as a mules and the hinny. Okay. So what is the advantage of this type of the crossing means interspecific breeding methods to getting into the two species characters into the one individual. This type of the breeding methods we are following here. So for example, male and the jackals they are producing the mule. So mules are generally using into the transportation of the hill places with the heavy weight for a longer duration we are taking. So generally the horses are having into the capacity of the fast transportation. They are able to fast running. They are running fastly. And the donkeys we are taking means they are able to bear into the more weights for the transportation. Those two characters are getting into the mules. That means these are able to bear into the more weights for the longer distances with the fastly. So in the hill regions we are using as a transporters here. Mule and the hen is both are using is a transport. So like this, to getting at the two species and their characters within the one individual, these interspecific breeding methods we are following. So these are comes under the outbreeding methods we are taking. Next one, not only the outbreeding methods, there is another breeding method we follows into the development of the animals, control breeding method. Control breeding methods here. Here the control breeding methods we are taking is two types of the processes we are following. First one is the AI and second one is the MOET. These two methods follows into the control breeding. First one is the artificial insemination method. Here the artificially controlled. So under the constant controlled condition, environmental condition, these type of the breeding methods we are conducting. So that only these are called as a control breeding methods or the laboratory or artificial methods here. These are nothing but as a artificial breeding methods now. So first one is the artificial insemination. Suppose to producing into the crossbreeds, okay. So for example, Jersey Hindi we have to produce. Jersey Hindi we have to produce here. So in this Jersey Hindi, to produce into the Jersey Hindi, our native breed we are not able to transport, or our native breed is not able to take it out into the up to the exotic breeds. For example, Jersey is the American breed we are taking, so we are not able to take our cow into the America, or the Jerseys are not able to bring into the up to the India. So in that condition, what we are doing means these control breeding methods we follows, artificial breeding methods we follows. That means, so the varieties of the Jersey varieties that means in these Jersey varieties, the Sindhi or native breed, in these cows we are artificially injecting into the semen of the Jersey, and their bulls we are taking. So from their bulls we are taking into the semen and injecting into the our native breeds. They produce into the both the characters are producing. The cross breeds are able to produce here. So this type of the methods is called as a control breed. That is the artificial insemination method here. And the second one is the MOET, multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology method we are taking means. So it is also an artificial or the modern technology of improvement of the breed. So what we are doing, in vitro condition. In vitro condition. So we are giving into these animals FSH like secretions. Artificially we are injecting into the FSH secretion like chemicals we are injecting. So it leads into the multiple ovulation. Multiple ovulation here. It leads into the multiple. That means these cows are the buffaloes we are taking, sir. They are able to produce the more the number of the ovules. Generally, the cows are laying per day annum we are taking, sir, only the one offspring only. That means they are able to fertilize only the one ovum. Their productivity to getting into suppose 100 offsprings we want to get means you have to wait for the 100 years. So it is not possible to improve into the high or the quality and the quantity products within the short duration. So in these methods we are following that the FSH secretions are injecting into those native breeds and we are inducing into the multiple ovulation. So once the ovules are released, more than number of ovules are released, these ovules are in the in vitro condition we are fertilizing and we are transferred, that those zygotes or the embryos are transferred into their uterus we are transferring. So from the superior quality cows too we are taking into the worms. Those are fertilizing into the artificially in vitro laboratory conditions, and we are transferring into those ovomes into the surrogate other mother cows we are taking, surrogate cows we are taking, or surrogate mothers we are taking. So there we are able to produce the more the number of the superior breed varieties are able to produce. So by this method also we are able to produce the higher quality or the higher productivity containing breed variety. We are able to improve into the breeds by the AI and the MOID. These two are comes under the control breeding methods here. So by using of these breeding methods, we are able to increasing into the productivity rate in the case of the dairy farm industry, or into the milk production or the meat production we are taking. So these are regarding to the animal breeding methods. Here, along with this breeding method, to increasing into the productivity, to increase yield of production milk, we follow into the some of the precautions into the dairy farm industry. First one is the house well, and second one is the adequate water, maintain disease free environment, suitable temperatures, and feed the scientific way. So these are into the important factors which are also influencing into the productivity of the dairy farm industry. First one is the housed well. So instead of rearing the animals into the open areas, so we are constructing into the proper sheds, housings. So we are constructing into the proper sheds and we are rearing into the animals in these constructions, means they are escaping from the environmental changes or the environmental factor, the influence of the environmental factors. That time we are able to improve into the quality and the quality of their milk we are taking. This is one of the factor which influencing the productivity. And adequate water, a proper amount of required water we have to produce into the animals to rise into the milk production. So required quantity of the water, adequate amount of the water we have to supply here. And maintenance the disease free environment. So mostly the animals are getting into the viral and the bacterial infections. Cattle we are taking, so some of the viral and the bacterial infections they are getting. For example, some viral infections. So mostly mouth and the food. So we are taking, means these are getting into the viral infection, like that as a rinderpest. Rinderpest. So this is one of the viral infection. Rinderpest, mostly they are getting into the rinderpest, and other one is cowpox. Cowpox. Okay. So rinderpest in the cow. So like this, some of the viral infections they are causing into the decreasing of the productivity. So to escaping from that, so maintain the disease-free environment here. Example, the viral diseases is the rinderpest. So what is mean by the rinderpest means? So through the food material, mostly these are directly contact with the food and the mouth into the soil. So from the soil to the unhygienic conditions of their surroundings to the viral rinderpest is infected into their mouth and the food. That means the gills of the cattle we are taking, means they becomes inflamed and the swelling is occurs. They are not able to stand or the walking into those conditions. That condition is called as a rinderpest here. Okay, so it is infected by the through the mouth and the food we are taking, and the cowpox also. So these are the viral diseases, and like that as a bacterial diseases. Some of the bacterial diseases. Mystitis, so mystitis and the hemorrhagic septicemia. For example, these are the bacterial diseases. So which are occurs into the cattle bacteria. So mystitis and the hemorrhagic septicemia. So what it is happened? These are two are occurs into the bacterial infection here. The mystitis generally the cattle are not taking the food into the properly for a longer duration. Okay, so because internally their stomach we are taking means they are not feeling into the, so they are not feeling well, so that they are not properly taking into the hemorrhagic septicemia. So it is also the bleeding into the internal of the body is called as hemorrhagic septicemia. So in these two conditions also the productivity of the milk is going to decrease here. So that we have to maintain the disease free environment. It is a major important factor to improve into the productivity of the milk. Next one is the suitable temperatures. Suitable temperatures. The light and as well as the temperature. The adequate amount of the light and the temperature is also play a major role into the quantity and the quality of the milk production we are taking. So we have to maintain the suitable environment, the suitable temperatures and the light in the dairy farm industry, and not only that, the feed of the scientific way. The feed is also plays the major important role into the dairy farm industry. There are the two forms of the feeds we are giving. One is the ragage and other one is the concentrate feed here. So what is mean by the ragage and the concentrate feed means? The ragage is having the high quantity of the fibers we are taking. The fiber feeds, that is for example the paddy straw. The straws of the agriculture wastages we are taking, agriculture fiber wastages, they comes under the ragage feed we are taking. And the concentrate feed we are taking some of the cereals, pulses, oil cake, okay, all these are comes under the concentrated feed here. So here the fiber amount is less and the protein is more here. The protein quantity we are taking, protein quantity of these feeds are into the higher, the fiber quantity in these feeds are into the higher. These two types of the feeds we are in the equal proportions based on into the cattle we are giving into the these feeds here. So this is also an important factor to improve into the quality and the quantity of the dairy farm industry. So these are the certain factors to rise or to improve the milk production and the milk quantity. So this is regarding to the dairy farm industry. Okay.